Hey guys, now I have the last WebBot report from a month ago, but it's on my home computer on my laptop. But I have also the WebBot report before that one, which I believe was January 25th, 2011. And let's think about this for a minute. At the very beginning of January, I believe silver should have been around $28 or $30, because that's what it was at the end of December, somewhere in that neighborhood, in which we saw a very rapid run up to $50 practically. So I want to read you this WebBot report from January 25th, 2011 regarding precious metals. The subsets for the precious metals are showing that a great leaping past / overcoming of decayed / weakening limiting corruption is pending. The accruing aspect attribute sets in support of the primary supporting set of great leap overturning past constraints include internal to markets corruption and external to banks corruption that in both instances show sagging support for the secrecy veil and imminent threat of exposure. These sets of corruption aspect attributes have in previous WebBot reports contained cross links indicating Church of Rome involvement within the banking corruption, as well as politicians' minions also being tainted. Now the data accretion patterns are suggesting that the shit will be rolling down from the 7 hills of Rome, including the Vatican. The data sets are suggesting that upcoming bankster suicides, as well as mysterious transportation crashes of an international nature, will be a result of attempts to chop the chain of evidence and curtail the exposure of the corruption. The precious metal subsets gain support from directly held aspect attributes for success and jumping from the building before the roof breaks inward. Other supporting language includes leaps over obstacles during a blazing spring. Did we or didn't we not have a blazing spring as far as precious metals are concerned, especially silver? Absolutely yes, we did. WebBot writing in. Note, though, that problems will exist at government levels for precious metals, and then he has "and owners?" later in 2011, probably in fall. For this spring, however, the directly held sets include everyone will regret laziness to not go and get silver. They will regret that move, not going and getting silver. That's exactly what happened as it climbed from the 20s to approximately 50. And then you heard everybody saying, "Oh man, that's too high now, I gotta wait for it to go down. When it goes back down, if it gets back into the 20s, then I'll buy some more." A lot of people started buying when it was back down into the 30s, and like I always say, good, buy it all over the place. It doesn't matter because it's going up. Overall trend, up, 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 up. So it says further aspect attribute sets include distractions of youth, which equal political passions, will be regretted when they are older and have no coins of silver. Further language gains along the line are also being seen within the panic to own subset that has been building since 2003. However, the largest accretions of supporting sets for the precious metals subsets go to the unleashing of hidden secrets and exposure of treasure hiding. This last is internally supported by international and banksters and central banks. The central banks subset is itself supported, in this case, by crime against one's fellow criminals. In this set, the details suggest that one amongst the central banks has been hiding the stash within the sleeve and is or has been a secret gold hoarder. As model space has progressed from winter 2010 through 2011 into spring 2011, the dollar Federal Reserve note has as a primary supporting set the descriptor of dangerous situation. There are supporting sets for looking out just over the next rise or hill, for backwardization of unknown focus but a commercial asset type, and a document of indebtedness, derivative question mark, which will be triggered / invoked. Document of indebtedness, derivative question mark. I wonder if that was that thing we recently heard about the Federal Reserve getting questioned and asking about where the gold was, or some kind of gold that they had on record, and the response they got was that, well, it's not actually physical gold, it's just an accounting record. It's just a sheet of paper of an accounting of gold that was owned at one time by the Fed or something like that, and they were trying to skate around this question. I wonder if that's what this is talking about. These sets have accrual patterns suggesting that some form of large-scale failure to perform within documents, debt notes, held by or issued by sovereign states will be the proximate cause of a cascading default. The cascading default in the supporting sets for dollar debacle that will involve or cause an emergency international meeting. However, note that elsewhere in this report, international travel is cited as a potential problem for currency flows. There are a number of dollar death subsets that are temporally linked to Terra changes. These include earthquakes and new oceanic phenomena. In the markets entity, a couple of the long forecast new electrics subsets are now gaining both supporting subsets as well as visibility within the mainstream media. These new electric subsets are pointing to both South Africa and Canada as becoming more visible within the portable power from over unity devices markets due to strategic materials to be found in those countries. The data would seem to be suggesting that this formative technology does its emergence with some significant visibility in 2011. For the markets entity, 2011 is going to be shit, or the shits, or the vomiting unto like purging out one's bowels through the mouth. Wonder what this may mean for the banksters and their cousins. All of the above language being found within the secondary support layers for the markets entity. As model space has progressed into spring, the data sets accrue with disruption in commercial / product / financial flows that come from a number of sources. Not only the terror intrusions, but also corruption investigations, seemingly sprouting from the ground, will be impeding the flow of stolen funds. The stolen funds subset both cross-links and directly held mirror with the Space Goats Farts entity, where it is also reflecting the stolen funds shrinkage as a linguistic structure with very high emotional sums. The stolen funds subset within markets entity is perceived as negative both due to the loss of income, but also separately for the reduction in the flows of monies to be laundered ? Now, I'm going to stop right there, because I'm sure, or if you're not, I'm not sure that all of you heard this, but a lot of you have heard this. Just recently, $6.6 billion that was supposed to be given out to, was it Afghanistan or Iraq somewhere recently, was lost. No idea where it went. $6.6 billion was just lost / stolen / use the proper word here, laundered out of existence. And it's, I guess a congressional hearing was just taking place just over the last few days about this. So, is this talking about that? Is that the precursor event or whatever that they're talking about right now as a sign that we're in the right time frame? Is that the stolen funds that they're questioning in this Webbot report? It very well could be, because that's no small number. 6.6 billion is pretty decent. It is looking like it was stolen, not lost, and looks like a cover-up is now taking place. So, looks like we have another Webbot thing that looks to be right again. So anyway, I just want to share that with you and tell you that Lindsey Williams has recently, just said what his banker or his retired oil executive friend has told him. Don't pay attention to the markets right now. It doesn't mean anything. They move up and down. It doesn't matter. Gold is going to $3,000 an ounce, and silver is going to $75 to $100 an ounce. He did not say how soon, But he did talk about the dollar collapse again, that he reiterated and said it is their plan to destroy the US dollar, make it practically completely worthless. It will still be in existence, but it will be practically worthless by the end of the year 2012. That is the elite's time frame, according to Lindsey Williams. He did not say how soon silver would be $75 to $100 an ounce. Would you be upset if you bought silver at $50 an ounce this year, you happen to get in at the absolute high of silver, and I told you you're only going to have to wait approximately a year and a half from right now? I know you just bought it at 50, but it's going to be worth closer to $100. Would you be really upset about that? Probably not. Especially if you'd been buying since I've been telling you to buy for God knows how long now. Not that long, I guess the last couple of years. And shoot, I've been telling people to buy since $13, $14, $15 when it dropped to $10 at one time real quick. Same thing. $20, been screaming it to everybody. So anyways, you are not going to be too upset when $50 silver turns to $100 silver. And who's to say anybody that I know actually went out and bought it at $50? I know I got a lot of messages asking me where I'd recommend buying silver from back when silver was in the very low $20 range. And I would promptly reply to people who would ask, how much do you plan on buying? Okay, then go here or go here, whatever. So I know a lot of people are in the 20s, low 20s. So chances are, if you're in the low 20s, how's it gonna feel when silver's $100 from 2 years later or a year and a half later? Are you gonna be upset that it didn't go that high that fast? No, you won't. Why? Because you shouldn't be a short-term investor. This isn't a trader type of situation. This is holding, stacking silver for the long term to hedge against inflation, paper dollar collapse, and any other financial turmoil, period. And food inflation, of course, which will come with that. So anyways, that's all I got for you. I'm going to do another video now that's interesting, and I'll talk to you later.